So it's been possibly a couple of months since I did a video on this, and I had to go back over things and just reassure myself, or kind of remind myself, kind of where I got up to, what I'd done, where things were at, and then work out what I need to do to kind of finish this off, because I need to complete this. I need to take it to the end. So we started off with this building this kind of movie app, wanting to get the idea of have some sort of local persistence that would store movie details, and we get ratings from the movie database. So we had the idea of an outside-in test here that was kind of testing our little kind of HTTP application, which is an Express application. We had that was in turn delegating to a movie service, which we have, which we can see. I guess for a start off, we've got the wherever create movie app is there. This create movie app takes an instance of the movie service, which kind of conforms to the movie service interface. If we look at the movie service, that's here. I've just got the movie service interface there. There's the movie service spec. So actually, we need to move this class here out of the test file and move it into its into the place where it should be. So maybe that'll be the first thing we'll do today. What else we got? What else? So that's the movie service there, and then we've also got a few little kind of. We've got the interface for the movie database service here, and also for the movie DB here. So where I want to get this to, I'd like to get this to the point where our movies here. I think for a start off, I'm going to have it so that the movies have just been stored in a local kind of temporary data store, which will effectively just be an array. The movie database will be linking out to the external service, and then perhaps as a kind of follow-up thing, I will maybe replace the kind of local in-memory data store with perhaps a sort of database like Mongo or something like that. I can see from the videos I've done before that I've got to the point where I've just fixed the contract tests for the movie service. So what I can do, the next thing, after having kind of moved the movie service here to its kind of proper file rather than in the spec file, we can then look at these. We can look at the tests here and look and see what our expectations are of the movie database, of the TMDB service, and also of our movie DB, because these will then form the basis of the contract test for the movie database and the contract test for our internal kind of data store. So maybe we should try and get started with that. So first things first, let's take this service out of here. In fact, let's just back up there. Maybe, let's see, can I use I'm not sure I can I do that? Can I do that? No, I can't. I wanted to see if I could extract that out to I wanted to see if I could move that to another file just through the refactoring, but I'm not sure I can. So what are the context options we got there? Move class, move so there we go, that'll do. So slightly annoying that we've got different refactoring steps in different places, but we've got move class, movie service to file movie.service.ts. And it's annoying that so I can't choose where to move that to. My file is called movie-service.ts, and this is saying do you want to move it to movie.service.ts. So it's not quite what I want. So anyway, what I'm going to have to do then is just copy and paste it. So take that, move that, go into here, we'll put that below the interface, go back into here, don't need that anymore, don't need that from there anymore, but I will need to import that. In fact, before I can import it, I'll need to export it from here. Let's also make sure we've got our, do I need the movie? What's that? That's returning a movie. Oh, I've already got the movie being imported there, that's fine. So here we'll go, now we can import that. So that's good. Hopefully I'll run the tests earlier. Let's run the tests again to make sure they're all working. They're all working still. So I'm going to take that. In fact, actually, so it looks like oh yes, I found some rogue kind of text kind of got into there. What else have we got? Moved things from there. That's been updated there. And there we're running the tests with, yeah, I've updated the path there. So let's commit those changes. What are we going to say? Moved movie service. Can't spell. Movie service to implementation. Like that. And we'll commit those changes. Cool. Okay. Go back to the project. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So the next thing, I'm interested in the, let's look at the movie database. That'll probably be our easier one if we're doing it as an in-memory database. We haven't got to worry about any external real-world stuff, so it's going to be won't be too kind of complicated, hopefully. So I'm going to create, what have we got in terms of MovieDB? Just got an interface in there at the moment. So I'm going to create a new file, and we're going to call that MovieDB contract.spec.ts. And based on kind of the mistakes that I made in the movie service contract tests, I realised I need to pass a function that will build that MovieDB, or probably need to kind of like do that. So I'm going to follow something similar for this. I'm going to take that, close that down, close that, keep that open for the moment, close that, keep that open because I might use a bit of that as templating. Get rid of that, get rid of that. So in fact, no, I actually want that one, don't I? I want that one because that tells me that's where I've got the expectations on the movie database. Yeah, there. Okay, so I'm just going to copy some of this boilerplate from here. I'm going to paste that into there, and that's going to be my movie D. Let's call it D. Do I want a DB? Yeah, I've got a DB. Do I want lowercase b, uppercase b? Decisions. I'm going to go with lowercase. Create test movie service, and that's going to be create test movie DB. And that's going to be create test movie DB params. I don't know what params we're going to need there yet. So I'm just going to make type params, and that's going to be empty at the moment. In here, we're going to create our test, our sort of test for this. How do we describe this? Name. Movie service contract test, so something like that. Let's take that there, do that, name movie DB, contract tests. And now we can, I guess, start to think about the contexts for these. So in this we had add vote and get movie. In our spec here we've got the expectations on get movie and get movie. In fact, yes, it's get movie. And what else have we got? Get movie. Let's just have a search through here and see what we've got. Get movie. So actually we've just got get movie as a requirement there. So let's put the context of get movie. Context. Get movie. And we're going to say it's, so we're going to come up with something for that in a moment. Hopefully that's create test movie service params. Don't need that. In fact, we don't need. That's going to be movie. That's going to be movie DB. Oh, I've got uppercase B there. Right. Okay. So we've got precedence actually. Let's change that to an uppercase B because that's what we're using elsewhere. That'll be DB. Cool. Okay. So we've got some consistency there. That's complaining about the fact the params is an empty object. We'll fix that at some point. We'll either remove it if we don't need it, or we'll update it as we need it. So we've got something here which basically says our stub here is basically saying that when we pass arguments 1, 2, 3, 4, it should resolve that. What are we saying here? Context there. So we're saying, so we're going to have another layer of context here, and we say context, and we're going to take from here when we pass arguments 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that movie ID? It's probably an ID, isn't it? Context with movie ID 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take those three things, step 3, select those from there, put those in there, remove that, and we're going to say it should return correct movie. And so for this, what have we got? We've got this is the movie we're expecting there. So we can pass that in and say we want to create, so const movie db equals create test movie db, and what we're going to pass in there is the should we give it an array of movies? I feel like could maybe give it one movie. I feel like I want to give it an array of movies because that's kind of, it almost represents our database then. And then I'm going to say, should return the correct with movie B. So we should be able to say expect await movie db dot get movie 1, 2, 3, 4 to deep equal and I'm guessing we're expecting it to return back that. Simple as that. We can do an async on that, and I think that's possibly as complicated as it gets. I guess we can make it more. We can then maybe add a second. I wonder if we could maybe just add it into the first, into the same test. So we've got a different film here. So we could, for example, put that in there and add that in as a second movie. So this will allow, this will kind of show us. We can even take that out of there and put that into there. Look at that, amazing. And that's context one, movie 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take that out of there. Let's put that into there. Now we could say something along the lines of context movie 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we could say it should return that. So now, the reason why I've kind of felt kind of compelled to do that, and so this will be an array of, what's our movie DB interface? Movie DB records. So that's actually going to be, so just going to be as simple as that. In fact, so if that's going to be as simple as that, we can take that, we can refactor that, we can inline it. Inline on references and remove type alias. Not sure I want to do that. 4 occurrences. Where's 4 occurrences? Not going to do that. We'll do it manually. No. In fact, let's just keep it. Let's keep it like that, because I think that probably. Let's just run that. In fact, it's not going to run anything because we're not actually using it anywhere. Let's just see what happens. Let's just commit the changes so far. We've just added one file, which is our contract tests. Added movie DB contract tests. We'll commit that. And now what I'd like to do is I'm going to try that refactoring and see what happens when I inline it. It says, oh, no, so now it's saying there's only one occurrence, which is what I expected before. Okay, perfect. That's what we wanted. And let's just call that minor refactor. Very descriptive. Commit message. Cool. Okay. That for me feels pretty good as a contract test. We've captured the details that we had from this. I guess we should actually. One thing we haven't checked is that we've kind of got another. No, we're not checking at the moment that does return undefined. Although we are sort of saying there that it could return undefined. So I think what we should probably do here is also have another test here. We should have movie 9999 should return undefined to be undefined. Okay, well that's wrong, we need to change that. That to me, I kind of feel like we've captured the details there. So we're forcing it to select a movie from an array, which we've got here, and we've also shown that when we ask for a movie ID that doesn't exist, we're going to get undefined back. So we're not, for example, it's not going to blow up and throw an error. It's added movie not exist case. Test case. Go. Okay, so now we've got that, let's go back to our list here. Let's add in, so that's MovieDB contract test. At some point I'll add in some folder structures here and we can maybe sort of tidy that up a bit. I'm going to create a new file here called moviedb.spec.ts. And for this we're going to go, how did I do the contract test for this one? Called it like this, contract, there we go. Cool, okay. So movie.spec there. First thing we're going to do is we're going to say, oh, are we actually exporting that? MovieDB contract test, yes we are. So let's just do that. And we're going to call it like that. Do we need to, we don't await anything there. That's going to be MovieDB. And for this we've got some params, and we're going to do we're going to return. We're going to create it with facts. Let's do. So I think we're going to just simply return a new MovieDB with params. New. Let's call this in. This is going to be an in memory. And we can run that. Can't run that because we don't have anything there to run. But that's a bit annoying, isn't it? Let's just put a. What can we do there? How can we do that? Can we do npx mocha source movie db.spec Will that even work? What did that complain about? New in-memory. I cannot find in-memory. So let's see what our options are there. Create class in-memory MovieDB. We have that. Okay, perfect. Look at that. It already implements MovieDB interface. It's quite cool. So we can import that. Can we import that? Let's import it. There we go. We should be able to import that. What's that complaining about? We can implement all members. Do that. Constructor is complaining about unexpected empty constructor. That's probably because we need to say in fact we can just change that to private movies. That will then stop that being, and let's try that test again. Cool. Should return correct movie, should return correct movie, and we're failing, but that one's returning undefined, so that's fine. So we could, for example, do something here and maybe do, what can we do? Let's make that async, and let's, instead of returning, let's do return this dot movies dot find movie.id equals movie ID. See if that works. Look at that. So we've just immediately passed all of our contract tests. And that means we can probably, that needs to stay like that, so that's all good. So slightly annoying that, because of the way we've structured this, I can't easily just run Mocha against it. I guess I could manually create a configuration in here. New Mocha. Will it let me do this? Test directory, test file, source movie db.spec.ts. Let's try that. And let's watch that. Will this work? Hopefully it will. Movie db.spec.ts. That is a file. Stop lying to me. What does it say? Let's just see what we have on. Oh, okay, so that actually wants a slightly more complete. There we go. So let's just try that. Does that work? Look at that. It does. Okay, so we just have to manually create the configuration for that because there's no describe blocks in here. So Mocha, the IDE doesn't know that this is a test file. But what we've managed to do there is come up with an in-memory movie database that passes our contract tests. At this point in time, I don't feel like I've got any other tests that I want to write. But you can imagine I could then, I could repeat this. I could repeat the same thing, kind of below, and I could go down here. In fact, let's just change that to in-memory MovieDB. I could change this to a Mongo MovieDB and create a new Mongo MovieDB and put that there. What I'd probably need to do for this is, what would I do here? I might even do something slightly different in so much as Mongo MovieDB call probably isn't going to take a list of isn't going to take a list of films. At the moment, it's possibly only going to have the get movie function on there. But I might, for example, need to add a function to that's add movie or something, just to enable me to add movie, or I might need to manually go and populate the fixtures that are from params. I might need to kind of populate those directly into Mongo. But we can deal with that as when we get there. For the moment, I think that's quite a nice little change. So we've managed to get that done. We've got our contract test in place. So yeah, I kind of feel quite happy with that. Added in memory movie DB implementation. And at some point, so I'm going to commit that. At some point, we'll probably want to. I'm not sure I'd want to kind of add the file directly into here as a movie DB, but I'd want to create a file called like in memory movie DB and put the file in there. And I might even then kind of rename the, this sorry, not that contract test, this spec file to also reflect the fact that it's the in memory version. In fact, maybe do I want to do that now? Do I want to do that now? I feel like maybe I should do that now. So I'm going to rename that, refactor, rename, in memory movie DB spec. That has got the interface there, so I'm going to create a new file there called in memory movie db.ts, and then in memory movie DB class will come out of there and go into here, and that'll be exported. Then we can lose that from there, that from there. We can then import that from there, and now we've got, yeah, it feels a little bit kind of neater. Got a spec, get our movie file, got our in-memory movie DB file, so that's ready to use. Commit those changes. Call that minor reorganization. Commit that. So I think that'll do for this video. We've kind of made a little bit of kind of got back into the groove, made a bit of a start. That file now is not going to work because that needs to be updated to in memory. That should then work, which it does. It's all good. So yeah, I think that's a nice little change. A good point to stop there, and then next time we'll work on the movie database ratings one. That'll be quite an interesting one, I think, particularly around the contract test.